Paula wrote in last night with an urgent problem. She had a kitchen sink leak. Before she found it, water had pooled in part of the basement. Corey, you're going to want to get in on this as well. Greg, you as well. And by the way, in case you don't know, I was so excited to see Greg here. I forgot to tell you, I'm Bob Sokoler, and we would love to sell your home. If you're thinking about selling, I can come out free, no obligation, just a time to talk. I do it all the time. We can sit and either do it by phone, in person, or Zoom, anything you want. You can reach me, 376-5483. I also have 10 agents who can help you buy a home, and we are ready to help. Or go to bobsellslouisville.com. All right, following back up, Paula, kitchen sink leak, pools in the basement. She's calling her insurance company today, but she wonders if she should clean up the leak immediately or wait to hear back from the insurance company or call a company that cleans up the messes and fixes the leak. Let's start with Brad. Thoughts here?
Yeah. So the first thing you want to do is take care of the water, take care of the leak, whatever it takes. You got to get all that water taken out of any space where it can do damage to drywall, wood. Depending on what the leak is, I mean, some are too big for you to handle yourself, and you probably do want to call a restoration company to come in and take it out. Mm-hmm. If it's just something that you can contain with buckets and rags, and figure out how to fix the leak itself, please take those steps to do that right away, because water in a home is never a good thing.
Mold starts occurring after 3 days. Am I correct on that?
Or less, depending on the conditions, and if there are active spores there that are waiting for water to, if you will, reactivate.
So, Cora, over to you on this thing. Calling the insurance company won't be a problem for her to make a claim, even if she cleans things up, correct?
Absolutely. And if for some reason this was due to the non-disclosure misrepresentation or otherwise due to a recent real estate transaction, and there may be some exposure there for a prior owner, depending on the contract and legal situation, I would still encourage, again, to mitigate your damages, get that cleaned up, not only for your good sense of living, you don't want to live in circumstances such as that, but you're going to want to have to get that repaired, mitigated, and then we can try to recover those losses, those expenses later if you have a claim.
Yeah, Greg, any problems with leaks in your house recently? No? You're shaking your head no?
No.
Okay, just wondered.
I go back on my builder. We're still a new house, so you got that waterproofing on the exterior, so I would reach out to my realtor myself and kind of follow that line down depending on how old the house is. If you've got waterproofing on the foundation, there is a warranty, or it lasts X amount of years. You just need to find out with your builder.
And I found a leak. It's not a usual leak. The condensate pipe that my HVAC drained into apparently backed up, and I tried to unclog it, and I tried everything. It didn't work. So I went out and bought a condensate pump, right? It's about 90 some odd bucks. And then I wired it up last night so that now the condensate water goes into the pump and then pumps it up through a tube that I installed. So I don't know if I have to disclose that if I ever sell. Not that I'm planning to sell, but I would say it wasn't any big deal. It was just some pooling of water on the concrete floor, so not a big deal.
Well, real quick, while we're on that topic, I just discovered in doing some yard maintenance, I had somebody come out to do aerating my yard and figure out an issue. We kind of found out that the ejector pump from my sub pump at the yard was clogged from just impacted debris over time. And while I didn't have any flooding in my basement, it was something that if there was a flood, I could have been in big trouble because it was clogged. And my sub pump, though, was running extra because the water that wasn't getting ejected was just coming back in from the condensation from my HVAC itself. So you said it, just sparked a thought.
So, folks, I guess the lesson to learn from all this is check anywhere there's a water source. Make sure that it's draining and properly drained. And, Brad, you say don't use like a Drano going down PVC pipe and all that stuff. That can be a danger.
I'm not a fan of that. But I want to say something about these condensate lines. So next to your air conditioning system, where you see that condensate line, you're going to see that the top of it is open. Okay. The HVAC folks are going to tell you need to treat that periodically. Okay. This is one of those cases where, while I tell you don't use bleach, bleach doesn't kill stuff off. What they want you to do, though, is add a little bit of bleach to that, because what that'll do is it'll prevent the gunk from filling up that condensate line. And that will keep it draining properly so that you don't have to rewire an external pump to get it around there. But you can clean those pipes out, Bob, with even just a small plumbing snake.
Yeah,
you can run those through.
Mine didn't work. Is gunk, by the way, a technical term that we should all learn?
Yes, it's a technical term that the HVAC guys use all the time. It's just gunk in the system. Yep.
Now, Bob, what about if you have a home warranty, though? Do some home warranty carriers require you to call and start the claim before you call the vendor?
Yes. As a matter of fact, all warranty companies want you to call them, and they'll call the vendor associated with that. That's a great question. With that type of problem. So in my case, it would have been my HVAC company. That one of them would have been called, but I'd have to call my home warranty company first to have them send it, because they work directly with the HVAC companies. They get a discount for the service and any repairs. The HVAC company in this case would give the home warranty company, and then there's $100 deductible. But in my case, the pump itself was $100, so my labor obviously free. So it didn't make sense to call for that problem, and who knows what they would have anyway. So there you go. So folks, this is just really good information for you, knowing some of these problems do exist on a daily basis on many of our listeners' homes. And thank you, by the way, for I should point out, as I go through the community and meeting people, I am constantly told how they love the show and how valuable it is. And thank you all for listening. We do appreciate that. If you would like a copy of our free, no obligation booklet that tells you how to prepare your home for selling with selling tips, it's free. Again, no obligation. Send me an email, bob@wesellouisville.com, and put in the subject line selling tips. And by the way, if you're thinking about selling, you may want to have Brad's free home inspection guide to preparing your home for inspections. Again, send the email, bob@wesellouisville.com, and then put home inspection guide in the subject line. I'll send it right out to you via email.